It's been fabulous working with Kimberly. It was a blessing that she was referred to us from Bainbridge.
Kimberly has a tough job. She's the liaison to the artists.
The lead time for these projects can be quite long, and Kimberly is a big part of facilitating that and making sure that the artist knows what's going on and the hospital knows what's going on. So,
I am totally new to not only the art process and to the construction projects. It was great to have somebody who was experienced with the art world and artists and contracting and that type of thing, and to help us figure out what our process needed to be here at Multicare. And from that, I've learned a lot about, I didn't know I had an opinion about art, and have really enjoyed getting more embedded in the process.
She's been someone as an artist that I could use as a resource. She was the one that suggested the encaustic gesso and the new encaustic paints, and she's going to come play in my studio, which I can't wait. And her knowledge is so vast. And the other thing is that she's like, you can do 11 feet. You know, it's somebody that was really encouraging. I don't know anybody who's done it before, but you can do it. So that was really fabulous. It was really fabulous to have somebody that has that kind of encouragement and expertise.
She was very good, always easy to talk to, and really a pleasure to work with. So ultimately, it was a great experience. And yeah, I hope to do more of this type of work.
The work that we have here represents the Tacoma and surrounding areas, both literally and figuratively. Some of this work is actually photos from the Tacoma area, paintings from the Tacoma area, but it also represents the richness of artists that are represented here. There actually is, if you look at the data, a higher per capita count of artists in the Tacoma area than there is in a lot of places in the United States. And so that richness is brought forth by the artists, the art that we have to choose from and the art that we choose.
The thing about a hospital is it's impersonal. It's a giant sterile building. It's full of protocol. It's so unlike the normal.
I always like to think of something Henri Matisse said, which is like art should be like an easy chair. And it's something it should be comfortable, and you should be relaxed. It should be relaxing.
We've all been in those waiting rooms where you have nothing more, so the art becomes your best friend. It becomes the one thing that is there. Everything else in this room has a purpose, a light, a seat. The art's there strictly to have a conversation with or to be enjoyed, and that's a very important, I think, a very important factor in any space.
But I think that in a hospital setting, you really want something that has those same kind of qualities, that kind of nurturing, warm feeling that makes people feel good.
We've heard comments that, you know, I just didn't feel very good, or you're stuck here in the hospital all day long, and then you have a beautiful piece of art to come and stand out at, and it makes you just feel better or take a break from the stress and everything else that's going on.
I think it lowers your blood pressure, that you feel like they really care about me as a patient because they've invested in original art. You feel like you're in someone's living room or home. And there's just, it gives you a moment to step out of your reality of the painful things that you're dealing with, and to be able to almost have a little mind vacation, to get lost in the work, to find something new. And that's really wonderful.
I happen to walk through on occasion in the newly populated units, and they're all enjoying it thoroughly. The staff too, especially. I always see people stopping and admiring and reading, you know, who created it and what is the meaning behind it and that type of thing. So it's great. Yeah.
During a visit in which people will push their nurse call button is less, their request for pain medication is less, they report a better experience after leaving the hospital, and similarly for the staff. They have less sick days, they have less instances of stress, they're treated less for stress-related complications themselves. And so these are all issues that we know can be addressed with the artwork that we choose, and also are actually quantifiable benefits to the hospital and patients and staff.
One of the special things about glass is that it holds and captures light, And in the Northwest and everywhere, light can be a really potent way to heal ourselves. And anytime it's sunny out, you find everyone looking up at the sun in the Northwest and just trying to get some of that vitamin D. So I think the way that the glass holds light, the way that it projects a certain warmth through that light, I think those are some of the things that make it special and a great medium for public art in a hospital.
A lot of the ideas, around floats appeal to adults and also children, and so, and it was also something that the kids at Hilltop Artists could produce and make and stuff like that. I've done quite a few installations, none really this size.
We had never done anything, as I said, on that scale with that much glass, and to be given that opportunity was really wonderful, because I think the kids got to work for kids. They were helping to create, the kids in our program were helping to create something for the kids here at Mary Bridge.
The Fluke Bridge project came on a couple of years back. We started talking about different areas for the new children's wing upstairs.
It was the most difficult project in terms of engineering, figuring out, how many balls are going to go in, the weight of those balls, making sure everything was structurally sound. So it was, a lot of meetings, a lot of engineering discussions, and in the end, I think the result was really beyond anyone's expectations, including our own.
To add all those up, there's probably close to like 1,800 floats out of all 3 bridges.
One of the most interesting things is that the kids that go to school with us are kids that come to Mary Bridge. They have family members, they have friends that come to Mary Bridge, and so when we told them we were doing that, they were so excited to be a part of it. And my sister, they fixed my sister, or they did this, and so all those things were really wonderful, and it gave the kids a reason to participate. And because Mary Bridge is in their own community, they felt some ownership, and it was really wonderful.